Vola angela o veteranu ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barong na Bula FM nambandu na seri.
Bula, alang gono ilutoka do talita ka Bula FM berarti nambandu na seri.
Ni Bula binaka, nanreke ngosa Bula FM nga. Ena kasi.
Nalang gosa mundu achiwe na Bula FM nambandu na seri nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka. Nalang go Jerry yang melambasa. Do barong na Bula FM nambandu.
Bula FM nambandu na seri.
In the news tonight, TD04F to intensify into a tropical cyclone. Schools in the north to be closed tomorrow. And lift and maintain standards, says the Education Minister.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
Schools and higher learning institutions in the Northern Division have been directed to close tomorrow. This says the current tropical depression is expected to intensify into a Category 1 cyclone tonight. Fiji Met Services Director Misaeli Funaki says the public can expect strong winds and heavy rains from this evening as the forecast Category 1 system intensifies. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
The first cyclone of 2020 is expected to arrive in the coming hours.
At this time yesterday it was still a tropical disturbance. Now it is a tropical depression, and we expect it to continue intensifying and become a tropical cyclone by tonight.
The Fiji Met Director sounding the alarm for Fijians to be prepared.
The system is bringing with it heavy rain. And also as it draws closer, we should also be expecting the winds to gradually increase, not only to strong warning or strong winds category, but also to gale force category, especially for Vanua Levu, the low and low mobility group.
With the severe weather to directly affect Vanua Levu, the Ministry of Education is shutting schools down.
The path the cyclone is taking, and of course schools in the north, I think they'll be closed tomorrow.
The Director for the National Disaster Management Office, Vasiti Soko, reiterating that public advisories need to be followed.
There's strong currents. Please do not make an attempt to cross it. If there is any strong winds forecasted for your area, please remain inside. If your evacuation center has been activated, we ask that you move to your evacuation center as of when it's activated before it gets stuck.
Meanwhile, police have also stepped up their operations, increasing their personnel to monitor security and to assist with evacuations as well as search and rescue when needed. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Meanwhile, communities from Senganga, Tumbua and Savu-Savu are preparing for the worst, with TD04F intensifying and moving closer to Fiji. The Northern Emergency Operations Centre has been activated, and they are working closely with the district EOCs in ensuring the safety of all community members. Eleanor Trangoview reports.
Heavy rain was experienced across the Northern Division today, an initial reminder of what is to come in the next 24 hours.
We are happy that most of our communities here in the north have been trained for disaster readiness, and they also know the evacuation centers.
Village headmen and district representatives have been tasked with assisting the people on the ground in securing their homes and moving to evacuation centers if they feel the need to do so.
We are happy that most of our communities here in the north have been trained for disaster readiness, and they also know the evacuation centers.
In Boa and Savu-Savu, the story has been basically the same for today. Overcast in most places and heavy fog over the hills like you can see behind me, and in other places rain which were heavy at times. We spoke to a few people on the streets of Savu-Savu town today to see how they were preparing for the coming cyclone.
First, we ensured we have candles and batteries for our torch, and now we're going to buy our food supply.
I've ensured that my windows at home are all windowproof, and I bought all my supplies, which I feel should be sufficient enough for the cyclone.
I have been preparing, securing our home, and have ensured there is enough food. I'm just going to buy some more to stock up on our supplies at home.
Those living in the low-lying flood-prone areas are urged to move to higher grounds now.
They know their evacuation centers. They know what to do. But we also have our teams that are ready from the police and also from National Fire Authority and the fisheries in case there is a need for us to send people across to evacuated people from the flooding areas.
Although schools in the Northern Division were open today, most had sent their students home by midday to allow families to prepare for the coming cyclone. Eleanor Turangivu, FBC News.
In light of the current weather situation, the Minister for Defence, SERUA, is reassuring the public that his ministry is working to ensure preparations are in place for what may come our way. SERUA says his ministry is working closely with the Ministry of Disaster Management in monitoring the weather system and is pleading with the public to make necessary preparations. The Defence Minister reiterates that troops and officers are on standby to assist should the need arise.
Been monitoring the weather situation very closely, and of course the preparation continues. And I think the key message for all of us now is take heed of the advice that has been given from the Weather Office and the Office of the NDMO, and let's do all the preparations that we can when we have time.
School heads have been reminded that they need to lift their performance. This as the heads of schools in the Central Division had consultations with the Education Ministry today. The Minister, Rosie Akbar, told head teachers and principals to lift the standards in 2020 and foster better relations with the head office.
Rosie Akbar and her team have been meeting heads of schools all over Fiji. Today's message was to refute claims of disarray at the ministry.
Generally speaking, I've heard comments, oh, Ministry of Education is in a mess. Can I tell you, Ministry of Education is not in a mess. There are administrative issues which we must all acknowledge, and we must acknowledge the fact that these issues, there are solutions available if we work together.
She explains the decision to put head teachers and principals back into teaching is her initiative so that school heads don't lose touch. The minister also hit out at union comments about how the ministry manages teachers.
Your unions accuse me of policing you. They accused us, the team here, of put no. We have full trust in you. Let me put that straight. We have full trust in you, and there's no need for us to police. But this year, we will be having a lot of advisory visits.
You're not raising up to that expectation. We don't see the value of the position we hold as the head teacher, principal of the school. It's the most important position anyone holds in the community.
In 2020, there are 275,230 students from ECE through to tertiary institutions. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The Education Ministry is trying to resolve the impasse with the Fiji Bus Operators Association, which is now refusing to allow students to board if their e-transport cards have no funds. Association President Nisar Ali Shah says bus companies will not consider the plight of thousands of students who may not have had their cards topped up by the Ministry of Education. He goes on to claim that an operator estimated his buses carried up to 2,000 students free on Monday and Tuesday, but this has affected bus operators because of the loss of the revenue. Minister Rosie Akbar says she is worried about the plight of students, but adds that the situation can be resolved.
Shortly we'll be releasing a statement because we need to look at the information that's given by the Fiji Bus Operators Association and look at the factuality of the information.
The fact that these students are not accepted in public transport this morning, does it not worry you?
Of course it worries me, and I hope that good sense will prevail and all our children will be allowed to travel to schools, and this is something that we can sort it out.
Up ahead, Fiji gets positive rating. And valuers under the radar. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
As discriminatory laws continue to affect the work-life balance of many women globally, Fiji has been commended for creating a regulatory environment that encourages female economic participation. A recent World Bank study reveals that Fiji is among this year's top 15 global providers, scoring 79.4, up by 5 points since last year, putting us in the lead among some of the world's largest economies. Kelly Vadala reports.
The Women Business and Law 2020 study measured 190 economies on legal reforms that advanced women's economic participation in the past 2 years. It shows how the Fijian government's introduction of paternity and maternity leave contributed to economic security and career growth for women.
We do get lots of opportunities and lots of benefits from our works, and plus even the government is equally helping us in terms of maternity leaves, and since now we also have the family leave.
The study shows that Fiji, along with Pakistan, the Philippines and Zambia, increased the duration of paid maternity leave to meet or exceed 14 weeks. US is the only economy to introduce paid parental leave since 2017.
The opportunities are quite good. The government is also doing their part. So we women, we should come together and work together. And for the maternity leave, the government has placed now, I think for the couples, the husbands, they are getting the leave too.
Fijian women have welcomed the study, saying when given equal opportunities, they can reach their full potential.
Because women have the right also to play a part in this, what will I say, in this journey.
The World Bank says legal and regulatory reforms can serve as an important catalyst to improve the lives of women as well as their families and communities. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Unregistered valuers undertaking property appraisal is slowly becoming a worry for the Valuers Registration Board. The board believes an integral part of the growth is getting proper value of these properties. However, unregistered valuers offer low prices and are causing panic. Kritika Kumar reports.
The board has confirmed that there were instances where unregistered valuers tried to appraise a property and these illegal acts have been reported.
So we are looking at, we're also monitoring the activities of the valuers who are registered and those who are not registered valuers. But if we do come across people who are engaged in doing valuation, then of course we will refer the matter to the police department to investigate and prosecute those people.
The Valuers Registration Board believes the properties need to be valued according to the factors outlined in the real estate sector.
And everyone who is intending to buy properties, they monitor the prices of properties, and based on that, if they could afford to buy, then definitely they will invest. Yes.
The valuers say there is a strict policy in place for those who are tasked in rating the value of a property.
The process for getting registered is quite stringent, meaning the quality of registered valuers is high. Once people are registered, they have been through the process, so the quality would be high.
Currently, there are around 60 registered valuers in the country. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
One of the directors of Mass Stationery Supplies Limited has been warned to be present in court on the next mentioned date, and if not, a bench warrant will be issued. The Suva Magistrates Court was informed that Rajnil Wati was admitted at the CWM hospital yesterday and was unable to make it to court today. Wati and Abdul Sharif alleged that while being directors of the company, obtained financial advantage amounting to over $10,000 from the then Public Works Department, knowing that they were not eligible to receive the said financial advantage. The alleged incident took place between January 1st, 2010 to 31st March of the same year. The next mentioned date is the 11th of next month. Russia's government has resigned hours after President Vladimir Putin proposed sweeping constitutional changes that could prolong his stay in power. And now it's business time with Koroi.
Thanks, Amrita. Coming up after the break. Insurance to reach outer islands. And in growing Fiji, SERUA villages get new crossing. Stay with us.
Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatula Lobak. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business work is in progress to provide an insurance cover for people living in the rural and maritime islands. Governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji, Arif Ali, revealed this while presenting the Insurance Annual Report 2018 to the Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The Reserve Bank Governor was questioned by the committee whether there are insurance avenues that can cover villages in the interior and maritime islands.
Is there any idea of trying to cover them, whether it be a cyclone cover or flood cover?
Parametric insurance is basically, the triggers is if it's a category 3 cyclone and within a defined area, everybody is going to be paid who is covered. So that's something we're working with. We're working with Ministry of Economy, the Climate Change, the World Bank and IFC and ADB.
Ali says discussions are still at an early stage and work is in progress before a cover is introduced.
The key issue here is what are the triggers, who will be covered, who will pay. And I've also been talking to the CEO of TLTB, who is also a board member, in terms of whether we can get even the bundle insurance product.
While presenting their submission to the Standing Committee on Economic Affairs today, the Governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji has stated that there are lapses in the insurance sector and they're working tirelessly with the various insurance companies. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Gary is here now to give us the latest of what's happening in the money markets.
Looking at the forex market, the US dollar gave a little ground to riskier Asian currencies today. Investors are hoping the US-China trade deal could herald warmer relations between the world's two biggest economies and help revive global growth. Meanwhile, Beijing and Washington signed the Phase 1 deal overnight at the White House as a step forward. The centerpiece of the deal is a pledge by China to purchase at least an additional $200 billion worth of US farm products and other goods and services over 2 years. The United States will also cut by half the tariff rate it imposed in September 1st on a $120 billion list of Chinese goods to 7.5%. Furthermore, Phase 2 discussions have already begun as negotiators work to resolve differences. That helped the trade-exposed Aussie and Kiwi dollars to book modest gains, while the safe haven yen softened slightly. The Chinese yuan, the most sensitive currency to the US-China trade relationship, headed back towards a 6-month peak hit on Tuesday, adding 0.1% per dollar in offshore trade. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. The Fiji dollar was on the rise against most currencies we cover, only declining against the euro and the yen. Now, commodities was generally on the rise. Crude oil prices ending at above $58 per barrel. Gold gained to finish at $1,555 per ounce, and silver closed up as well at $17.92 per ounce. In growing Fiji, Minister for Rural and Maritime Development, Dr. Mahendra Reddy, says the government remains committed to the protection and development of rural and maritime communities. Dr. Reddy made this comment while commissioning a newly constructed 22-meter foot crossing bridge in Nambukelevu village in SERUA. He adds initiatives such as foot crossings are a national priority to assist rural and outer island communities to meet their basic needs, improve living standards and quality of life towards becoming self-sufficient.
You are out of our sight, but you're not out of our mind. The other interior communities, other people who stay in the maritime division, Yasawas, the Lao group, the etc., you're not forgotten.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Guru, and good evening in sports tonight.
Fiji Sevens rated highly by all-time point scorer.
Gola ngwela o veteronugu ako itabua ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM nambando na seri
Bula ang gonoa ilutoka do talita na Bula FM berarti nambando na seri
ni Bula binaka nanrege ngosa Bula FM nga ena kasi
nadango samundo achiwe na Bula FM nambando na seri nusuri
ni Bula binaka nadango Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 en seri.
World 7 Series all-time point scorer Ben Gollings believes Fiji is still the front-runner for the men's Olympic gold in Tokyo this year. He says despite their slow start to the series, the Fiji 7 side has an uncanny ability to bounce back. The former England captain also shares his thoughts on the threat other teams pose.
It's going to be a pretty competitive year going into the Olympics, and it'll be exciting to see how things are played out in Hamilton and Sydney in a few weeks. You know, they're going to be the number one to watch, I believe. I think they'll come firing at the Olympics towards the end of the year. I think New Zealand are a different side to the way they were coming into the last Olympics. I think they're going to definitely push for it. Obviously, South Africa, you know, another team that are very, very strong in these big events. And then Great Britain. Great Britain, you don't really get to see what they're like until they turn up, because they're obviously an amalgamated team of 2 or 3 nations. So, you know, they perform well, and obviously they lost in the final to Fiji last time round. So I think, you know, they'll be quite underdogs as well.
Former World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year Cecil Africa and Werner Kok will return to the Springbok Sevens in Hamilton and Sydney. Also back for South Africa is playmaker Branko du Preez. Springbok Sevens coach Neil Powell made 7 changes to the squad that won the Dubai Sevens and were losing finalists at the Cape Town Sevens late last year. Stedman Gans will captain the Springbok Sevens to Hamilton and Sydney, taking over the captaincy armband from the injured Siviwe Soyizwapi. There's a push to revive outrigger canoeing in the country with assistance from the Fiji Sports Commission. With plans to introduce the sport in Nausori, we may soon witness competitions being hosted in the Rewa River. Akula Dama has the details.
Getting other sports involved in outrigger canoeing is vital after youths from Wana village in Rewa were given this canoe, which the Fiji Sports Commission bought from the Kaiwai Club.
Also for other sports to come and jump into paddling, to also use it as a off-season training. That's in the long term, like for most of the rugby players in Nausori, are willing to come in to help their shoulder, their upper body strength on paddling before they go back.
Former national paddler Moala Tokota'a says getting rugby players in during their off-season can actually benefit both the sport and those involved.
It's, you know, it'll benefit the sport too, and it'll be a win-win situation with the players and the sport itself. And I think that'll be a great idea for the sport itself.
Community paddling tournaments will be held in the Rewa River this year after Moana Village gave the Sports Commission the green light to build outrigger canoe racks on their land.
This is like a planning that Commission and other stakeholders in Nausori are looking forward to, for all our youth in Nausori to get into paddling. We are in March we are planning to have community race in the Rewa River. It's never been done before.
The Fiji Sports Commission, under the Urban Youth Sports Development Program, purchased 2 outrigger canoes from the Kaiwai Club. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Blues prop Carl Tui Nukuafe is determined to make a fresh start and return to the All Blacks after a nightmare 2019. The former nightclub bouncer's sudden rise to Test rugby 2 years ago made him a cult hero amongst Kiwi fans. More from News Hub. While Tui Nukuafe and the Blues are slowly getting back into shape, Australian Super Rugby sides are determined to go a step further this season. The Brumbies, Reds and Rebels continuing their pre-season training with nothing but improving the state of Australian rugby on their minds. Aquila Dama reports. And our player of the day, Kawhi Leonard, becoming the first player in Clippers history with 40-plus points in under 30 minutes played, leading the Clippers to a 128-103 win over the Cavaliers. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in new media, some insight on excessive gaming and its effects on Fijians. Details right after the break.
हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम देता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोज सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लेबू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
In new media, internet gaming disorder is contributing to the rise in mental health issues, and psychologists have stated that it's causing depression for many. With the easy access to smartphones, hundreds of Fijians are also at risk of becoming gaming addicts. Koroitandulala reports.
Gone are the days where you get up, the first book that you'll go for is the Bible. No, you go for the phone and see your smartphone to see how many likes did you get.
The growth in virtual gaming in the country has got many youth hooked, with working adults becoming less productive.
Even had, young people depressive mode. They are so the depression sets in. It's like they don't want to talk to anyone. It's virtually, they want to see what's happening in the game and everything else. For them, the virtual reality becomes their normal reality than anything else.
We are seeing a rise in what we call internet gaming disorder, or excessive problematic use of gaming. But we're seeing that linked to the more general rise in the social issues that young people are facing. So there is a link between lower self-esteem and higher rates of depression.
While internet and mobile games are seen as a recreational platform, its consequences on people's mental health is of great concern.
We could actually create a society where we have games that are used for positive good, to teach morality and to teach cognitive skills and to teach social responsibility. And so the future could be good or bad.
They will look at excuses just to, I'm not going into work today. The laziness comes in. They start to lie. Yes, they start to manipulate, what they're actually doing. Because it's all about them. This is what the thing is. It's this addiction.
Polatambu and Crooks both highlighted that internet gaming disorder is a growing concern in our society and brings forth the question, what will our future society look like? Koroitandulala, FBC News.
And here's Angie with the weather.
And welcome to the Weather World. TD04F is expected to continue intensifying and become a Category 1 tropical cyclone by this evening. The situation is closely monitored and any alert and warning will be issued as and when significant changes are anticipated. Now moving to the west, rain is expected to cover most areas. Low-lying areas has high chances of flooding up, so look out for that. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, cloudy skies with heavy evening showers. And up north, gloomy skies with showers also in line for tonight. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, rough to very rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 12:16 a.m. with low tide at 6:36 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:43. For tomorrow, won't promise you anything bright because we will have associated rain. Strong winds are also in the picture, so stay safe, be prepared, and stay updated with TD04F. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be in the low 30s. Looks like an umbrella day. And looking ahead to Saturday, the depression is expected to gradually move away, but showers will remain. Pretty much a wet weekend from what we are seeing for now. And that's all the weather news from my end. It's back to you, Amrita.
Thank you, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked what are your views on the appointment of principals on the merit-based system.
I don't agree with the new system because like vice principal and all those things should get a chance for a new principal.
I welcome the OMRS now in place, but should the principal position become vacant,
those who have been holding the assistant and vice principal positions should be given a chance to hold the principal position.
Everyone gets to have a chance in being a head or someone with high position.
It depends on the teachers, that how they groom their students, not upon the racial basis.
I agree, because the main focus is education.
They do, I think, management-wise, some I think it's okay schools with, it depends on the management. It's not actually about ethnicity based on the school, but I think it's actually based on management.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, if you have a small child, then chances are you have dealt with a tantrum. Bus 60 gives us some advice from experts on how to deal with them. Recapping the main stories, TD04F to intensify into a tropical cyclone, schools in the north to be closed tomorrow, and lift and maintain standards, says the Education Minister. And we move on to our shot of the day, and this comes from Savusavu, taken by Jeff Koroy. This is the sunset from Nadekoro in Savusavu. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. That was your news for tonight. Stay safe. No demanda.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग कल मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.